So that was just a way of me kind of saying thank you that way.
You mentioned, it's really special to you. Do you have any specific or special or thoughts going through your head as you sign that? Any memories come back to you?
Not so much as I was signing it. I always have thoughts of Coach, and I mean, one of the things that I do now, and actually this is my first year coming up, I'm a head high school basketball coach in my hometown, North Canton, Ohio. And, my dad was a coach for 40 years, and between my dad and Coach Paterno, they're probably the two most influential men in my life. And a lot of my coaching philosophy, a lot of things I share with kids came directly from him, and memories and things that he shared with us, or me individually, or us collectively in the locker room, or before the game. And so in a sense and in a way, I think about him all the time.
Just sort of going off of that, not why we're here today, but the basketball coach. What kind of things have you implemented from Coach Paterno in your days here that you implement with your kids now?
Well, one of the things, he was so consistent. He was always consistent. You knew exactly where he stood, what you were going to get from him, and I think players appreciate that. I think players respond well to that when their leader is the same, and you know what you're going to get, you know what he expects of you, you know what he demands of you, and so I've taken that. One of my favorite quotes from Coach Paterno was that success is never final and failure is never fatal. And I think that in any sport you play, you experience those great games, those tough games, the great moments, the hard moments, and just learning how to navigate that and realizing that when you win or when you play well, that's great, and enjoy it, enjoy the moment, but it's not over. You got to play the next day. And if you have a tough game, don't let that destroy you. And so, I think that's a message that I've really tried to instill in the guys that I coach.
Try to navigate those hard moments. I know somebody tweeted out a picture, it might have even been you, about you and Christian yesterday. Getting a chance to talk to him. What'd you guys kind of go over?
I just told him to just hang in there. I know it's been a little frustrating for him, and he's a really competitive kid, and so you would expect him to be a little frustrated. And he's just got to hang in there. He's got guys kind of growing up around him, and he can only worry about his job and do the best job that he can at his position, and continue to be a leader and continue to compete, and not try to do too much. I mean, just try to play the game the best way that he can, and just keep plugging along. So I think that I'm very confident he'll do that. And I think the bye week probably came at a good time for him. It gave them a chance to work on some things, but that doesn't change the fact that he's got some young guys up front trying to protect him. He's got young guys he's throwing to, and he's a young guy, so he just happens to have a lot of games under his belt. So, but I like him a lot. I love his skill set. I like his competitiveness. I like his presence, and he'll weather this storm and he'll finish strong.
Todd, going off that, anytime there's a picture of you regarding Penn State or something like on social media, there's always a backlash. How tough is that for you to actually put your name out there and stand behind everything that is Penn State?
Well, that is frustrating, and it forces me to be rather selective in the things that I do and say, and but I think we're moving more to a time, there's been enough time removed that somebody that has an opinion that, like I have, there's more people that are accepting of it, and so, there's always going to be people that aren't, and that's okay. But I just know, for me personally, I lived through the experience of being a Penn State football player, and I know what our program was all about, and I know what Penn State athletics in general were all about. And we did things the right way. There was never a culture problem with our football program, and we always did things the right way. And I think it's still that way. And so, I speak from experience when I say that, and it bothers me when people suggest otherwise, and I also, I think a lot of people spoke about Coach Paterno that may have never even had a conversation with him ever in their life, and I played for him and had a great relationship with him when I was being recruited, when I played, and then when I got in this profession and dealt with him on this side of things. And the man I know was different than the man that was portrayed in many ways in the aftermath of all this. And so, I just, again, there was a period of time when I couldn't really even say that without, people suggesting all kind of crazy things. And, it's hopefully we're getting more and more to a time when more, and I also believe, as part of my value system and my faith is I believe that truth wins out in the end, and I think the further on we go, hopefully the more and more truth will be realized and calmer heads will prevail in some of this stuff. So
Thanks for coming to our rally. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Okay.
Thanks.